All right, I'm going to take you on down our regular wall line and show you how we start that. These saws are very, very similar to our Apollo Mangotech. Okay, they all have visual monitors. These are all the saws that are going to handle everything going down our regular wall line. Okay. Now again, this saw here is very similar to that Apollo Mangotech, except this is not fully automated. This is, has a visual monitor. It's semi-automated. It's called just the Apollo. But it does have a visual monitor here. It tells him exactly what he's going to be cutting and fabricating. However, this saw will do what we call our specialty walls. Anything in like a cathedral ceiling or our tall walls, things that are kind of oblong, out of the ordinary, that we actually want to take a little bit more attention to detail with. And as Doug will mention too, probably our 3 most experienced staff members work in this station and in the fabrication of those angle and specialty walls, because we actually do have to do the measuring and the angle cuts and all the things of that nature. But again, you'll see here, it gives a layout of what that wall is going to look like. Tells them exactly what it's going to look like. Everything will be pre-cut. They'll be put onto a cart here, and then that fabrication of those specialty walls will be right behind you here. You'll see here the center aisle, this is actually our angle wall area. Things that are kind of out of the ordinary, whether they're tall walls. For instance, we built, they're called Harbor Villas, or some condominiums up on Alex Bay, and one of the walls, they were 20 feet high. There was a large patio door on the first floor, so obviously we had a large header unit in between that, with a great big half-round window above that all came to a peak or an angle. So a 20-foot wall that we're actually doing right here. Things like that we don't want to send down our regular wall line. We want to be able to keep that production going. But it allows us that separate area to do so. Now our next station, this is called our Tiger Stop. This is where we're going to be cutting the components for our what's going down our regular wall line. And when you come up here, you're going to notice that the visual monitor that has the cut sheet to it, or it tells them exactly what they're going to be cutting. So there's a group of material behind you that they're actually they're going to be going through. Now this has again, it has a visual monitor that tells them what they're going to be cutting, whether it's a top plate, whether it's a bottom plate, etc. And you'll also notice this blue stop here. This will automatically set to the length that needs to be cut. Or, and then Doug's probably going to illustrate for you here, it can ought to be manually done, set to what it's going to be cutting. But we can cut up to 18 inches of material with one cut on this. So primarily, when you get into that LVL that I talked about, okay, you get into that thicker LVL, we can cut up to 18 inches of this with one cut on this saw. And again, this will be primarily over your large picture window openings, around your staircase openings, or overhead door headers, okay? Now also, one thing about this saw is by the click of a foot pedal here, this saw compresses down and the saw blade comes from the bottom up. So one of the things I want to show you, if you look in here, we have our saw blade in there that actually makes that, and it comes from the bottom up. So it makes this saw very safe and unique to work with, okay? Comes from the bottom up, making it nice and clean. Everyone see that? And then what we'll do is, Doug, do you think we could demonstrate this? Sure. Great.
Demonstrate this for you real quick. First of all, my name is Doug Smith. I'm a supervisor on the wall line. I've been with the company for almost 4 years now. So we'll just show you this real quick. This is a set of top, bottom, and tie plates for one of the houses, okay? Each line represents a different length. I can highlight any line and press a button, and my stop will automatically go to that length, okay? Then I load my material in, and I'll make the cut. Now I can also enter one manually, enter a length manually. So I'll make a 12-inch. We'll move right on down. It goes from about 5 inches to 16 feet. And we can cut more than one board at once. We can cut either an 18-inch piece of LVL, or in this case, I have 4 2x6s that I'll cut at one time. Lay the material in, push it up against the stop. Well, now I have some 12-inch boards. Now these are actually going to be used. You just cut them for your benefit. We will actually use them. This saw is very advantageous in that we're able to cut a lot of material very quickly, very accurately, and with high repetitive turnover.
Now, our next station is called our subcomponent nailing station, all right? This is where we're going to be nailing all your jack to stud combination units and things of that nature. But you look right here, there's a visual monitor that tells them what they're actually going to be nailing together. What it is you'll see that there's 2 guns that are opposing each other, okay? We can actually adjust this for 2x6s or a 4-ply and things of that nature. But what it is we've got a stop that pops up, keeping it nice and flush to the bottom. And by the click of a foot pedal, these guns will simultaneously nail it together. What you'll notice is there's 2 guns on each side that are opposing each other, and they're at a slight angle. So it'll actually help prevent that board from ever cupping. And what Doug's going to do is he's actually going to illustrate how this works and some of the steps that they take to ensure this fastening.
My computer will tell me what type of material I need to use, how long it is, what configuration it needs to be nailed in. So it's all set up. Press the little button and my stop comes up. Okay, I'll feed my material into the machine. Make sure it's tight and flush in there. You press my foot pedal and all 4 guns will fire at once. The stop goes down after the first click, and I just go on. If you look at the nailing pattern on the board, you see that we have 2 nails on this side, close to the edges. On the other side, there's another 2 nails that went in at the same time, okay? And as Gary said, those nails are angled slightly. That helps to prevent your material from working its way apart over time in your home. Humidity changes and your wood swells a little bit and shrinks a little bit. In a 100-year-old house like I have, some of the nails pull apart because they didn't have a nice fancy machine like this, okay? This enables us to have a repetitive nailing pattern. It also is very ergonomic in that a man doesn't have to stand here with a nail gun in his hand all day long. So you end up with a quality product that has the same nailing pattern time after time after time.